All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful elect Akim out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai has credited us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line and your lineage goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Halakia from the GMS Denver camp, coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, with another lesson. And in this lesson, man, I want to focus on something that the Most High constantly reiterates all throughout the scriptures, and something that has been excluded by the false teachings of the pagan Christian church and some of these Israelite groups out here. Because at the end of the day, the scriptures say what they say. Point blank, period. And all throughout this Bible, all throughout the word of the Most High, he constantly reiterates this one thing, man. It's the same vision, because it all goes back to the same promise. And what we're going to do, we're going to read this portion, then we're going to go to some precepts to show you how the Most High constantly says this from the front of the book until the end of the book, man. And it never changes. So let's go right here. This is Jeremiah 32 and 36. It says what? And now therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the God of Israel. You see that? The Most High is the God of Israel. He never says that he's the God of the whole world. Ever. Even in the New Testament, what you Christians love to run to try to prove that the New Testament is all about the Most High loving all nations now. No. Even in the New Testament, Luke 1 and 68, it says what? Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, which are who? The Israelites. You see that? Everything stays the same from the old. The Lord, the Almighty power, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the one true living power, he is the God of Israel. Still here in the New Testament. That hasn't changed from the old. Now when we go back, it says what? Jeremiah 32 and 36. And now therefore, thus saith Yahweh, the God of Israel, concerning this city, whereof ye say, it shall be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon by the sword, and by famine, and by pestilence. And we know that city is a people, Jerusalem, Israel, is a people before it's a place. You see that? Because we were delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon by way of the sword, by famine, by pestilence. We find ourselves here in Babylon the Great, up under the ruler of Babylon the Great, which is the Edomite. You see? But what does the Most High say? Verse 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them, in mine anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath. Now, why did the Most High drive us out in anger and fury and great wrath? Because of our disobedience. Because we broke that first covenant that he made with us when we promised that we were going to do everything the Most High said we were going to do everything the Most High told us to do. We didn't keep that, man. We went to worshiping idols and practicing the customs of the heathen. Wicked customs that the Most High told us to refrain from. And because we went in that way, that goes against the Most High. He punished us and put us up under those curses. This is why you get us falling up under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. This is where we find ourselves now. You see? So this is why we're scattered all throughout the planet Earth, exiled from our homeland. But what does the Most High say? Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in mine anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath. And I will bring them again into this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. What place is that? The place that he gave unto our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for an everlasting possession. You see, the land formerly known as the land of Canaan, which later became the land of Israel, from the Nile River to the Euphrates River. You see? That's where the Most High is going to take us back to, and we're going to dwell safely. And he says what? And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. What does that allude to? That alludes to us being brought into the fullness of the second covenant that he's only going to make with the nation of Israel, as he's promised to do through the mouth of the prophets. You see? Verse 39 says what? And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and their children after them. And that's the Most High talking about bringing us into that second covenant, where we're going to have those new bodies, those righteous bodies, you see, immortal bodies. And we're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments put in us so we can walk in that righteous way in perfection. The law, statutes, and commandments that we've been given by the Most High, he's going to put it in us for us to do it automatically. We're going to be a completely righteous nation of people. That's what it means. He's gonna make us fear him forever. That means we're gonna walk in his way forever. The ways of righteousness are going to be put into the Israelites, every single one of us. But it begins with the remnant. Now, verse 40 says what? And I will make an everlasting covenant with them. There it is, that second covenant. That I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me, which we've done up under that first covenant because of the flesh that we're in. This flesh, this mortal flesh, it wants to sin, it wants to go off, it wants to do everything contrary to what the Most High told us to do. This is why you see our people being homos and lesbians and transgenders. This is why you see our people out here strung out on every manner of drug. This is why you see disorder in the households. This is why you see our people worshiping false idols and believing in false doctrines. It's because of the flesh, man. It's because this body that your spirit currently dwells in is completely wicked. And we have to be saved from it. And that's what the Lord Yahushua is coming to do for the Most High's people, beginning with the remnant of the Most High's people. So it says what? But I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart away from me. That's us being brought into the fullness of the second covenant, never sinning again, never transgressing again, never departing away from the Most High again. Verse 41, yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in this land. What land? The land of Israel. You see? Assuredly, with my whole heart and with my whole soul. And this is a constant narrative all throughout the scriptures, but what I wanted to pull is this. When you go to the cross references of the precepts for this Jeremiah 32 and 38, you get precepts, you see, that go all the way back to that promise and that oath the Most High made unto our forefather Abraham. This is Genesis 17. This is a promise and the oath that the Most High made unto Abraham, that he constantly reiterates through the entirety of the scriptures, that he's going to uphold and keep it. And guess what? No outside nation has a part in this. This is only for the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which are who? The 12 tribes of Israel. That he's going to keep the oath made unto our fathers. The book of Luke even tells us that. When you continue to read down from Luke 1:68, you continue to read down, it tells that the Most High is going to keep the oath made unto our forefather Abraham. And the Most High says this all throughout the book. So you telling me that the Most High spoke these words through the prophets over and over and over again just to get to the New Testament and say, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. I know what I said, but no, man, that's not how the Most High operates. Malachi 3:6 tells you that the Most High does not change. The book of Hebrews tell you that it's impossible for the Most High to lie. If the Most High said all these things through the mouth of the prophets, then he changes his mind, that makes him a liar. And Numbers 23:19 tells us the Most High is not a man that he should lie. It is impossible for the Most High to lie. If he says something, it's going to be done. If he's spoken it, he's going to bring it to pass. So let's show you. So we're going to start here in Genesis 17:7. We're just going to read these right here. Just go down the list and show you that it's the same narrative from the front of the book to the back of the book. It's just a false understanding of the pagan Christian church. And a few of these Israelite groups who don't have the true understanding is causing so much confusion because the scriptures say what they say. Ain't no argument. Ain't no debate. It says what it says. The Most High has spoken what he's spoken. And that's what it's going to be. Point blank period. Genesis 17:7 says what? And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. You see that? We just read in Jeremiah 32 where the Most High say he's going to make an everlasting covenant with who? The Israelites. That doesn't pertain to all people. It only pertains to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12 tribes. Because it went from Abraham, then Abraham tried to give it to Ishmael. The Most High was like, no, and Isaac shall thy seed be called. Isaac was the seed of promise. Isaac came, then Isaac, he brought forth who? Esau and Jacob. And who was chosen out of those two? Jacob was. And the blessing went to Jacob and to his seed after him, the 12 tribes. That's who the everlasting covenant is going to be made with. Deuteronomy 26:17. Thou hast avouched Yahweh this day to be thy God, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes and his judgments, and his commandments and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. And Yahweh has avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he hath promised thee, and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments. Who is he talking to? The Israelites. That's who the commandments were given to. It tells you that in the New Testament, the book of Romans chapter 9. That the laws pertain to the Israelites. Showing you that nothing has changed, man. The Most High has not forsaken his people. He's just going to destroy 2/3 here in the land of America. But they'll be reincarnated into the kingdom of heaven through the elect. But the Most High's people will ever and for always be the Israelites. And he will always be their God. That has not changed. You people get confused because you have a lack of understanding when it comes to the Gentiles that's being preached to in the New Testament. Those are Israelites being brought back into the fold to receive the inheritance of their forefathers. It was not talking about heathen nations being brought into the fold to receive the inheritance of a nation of people that never had anything to do with them. The Most High is bringing the Israelites back into their inheritance rights as the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. That's what this book is about. The book is about the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob receiving their inheritance as the Most High promised. That's what the book is about. That's it. Deuteronomy 26:19 says what? And to make thee high above all nations which he hath made, in praise and in name and in honor, and that thou mayest be a holy people unto Yahweh thy power, as he hath spoken. Who did he tell that to? The Israelites, man. That was never said about any nation outside of Israel. Point blank period. That's the truth of it. Now, you can say whatever you want to say. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but what's written is what's written. What the Most High has spoken is what he's spoken. You see? And if you add anything to what the Most High has already said, man, you're going to be cursed. And this is where a lot of you people find yourself at, because you're trying to add words to what the Most High has spoken by saying, oh, all nations can be saved. The Most High is going to save the heathen nations as well. No. The Most High is going to save his people from among the heathen nations, just like we read in prophecy. And I will gather them from all the countries that I have scattered them to. Those who are being gathered from all the countries we've been scattered to are who? The Israelites, man. That's it. Psalms 144:15. Happy is that people that is in such a case. Yea, Happy is that people whose God is Yahweh. So who's the Most High the God to? He's the God to all the families of Israel. Jeremiah 24:7. I will give them a heart to know me, that I am Yahweh, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. For they shall return unto me with their whole heart. Who's set to return to the Most High? Let's do this real quick. Let's go get a precept. Let's get Isaiah 10. Because it's all about prophecy, man. It tells you in the book of Revelation 19:10 that the spirit of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. So if you're not prophesying, you don't have the spirit of the Son of the Most High. If you're not prophesying or going into these scriptures, bringing out the prophecies as the Most High has commanded us to do, you don't have the spirit on you, man. So Isaiah 10:20 says what? A remnant will return. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob. Why is this so hard to understand? You people are all fans of Game of Thrones. You're all fans of Lord of the Rings. When you go back into those ancient customs they were practicing, you had the house of Stark. You had the house of Baratheon. You had the house of Targaryen. You had the house of what's them golden headed fuck's name, man? The house of Lannister. Could some random person just insert themselves into the house of Lannister if their lineage doesn't go back to that? No, it's the same thing. They get that's all based off the Bible and the ancient customs, man. You can't just insert yourself into someone's lineage if you're not a part of it. The house of Jacob pertains to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The house of Jacob goes into what? The 12 tribes. Those who sprouted forth from the seed of their forefather Jacob, which came from their forefather Isaac, which came from their forefather Abraham. That's how our lineage works. You see? When Ned Stark went into that big ass tome, which is a big book, for you who don't know, he went into the tome when he was going into the lineages of the house of Baratheon, and he was just naming off the fathers. You see, then he got the Joffrey. Then he the only one that stood out, a golden head, because all the other Baratheons had brown hair. Joffrey Lannister was the only Baratheon with golden hair, and that's when Ned started to put shit together that, no, this ain't Robert's son. You see? But you can go and watch it. But that's how it works. The house of Jacob, it goes to the lineage and seed of our forefather Jacob. And you can't just insert yourself into that. You have to be from that physical seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to be a part of the house of Jacob. So, Isaiah 10:20, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon them that smote them. Meaning what? We're not gonna stay upon our slave masters or lean upon them for support or for the answers or for them to tell us who we truly are. That time is over with. And the remnant will come up out of that weak ass spirit. We don't need our enemy for shit. Not for truth's sake anyway. We don't need them to tell us what the Bible says. Because they gave us a slave Bible. They didn't give us the true understanding of the scriptures. And this is why the majority of our people are so damn confused. And still cleaving unto that bullshit known as pagan Christianity. That shit has never provided you with any answers, man. It's just made you dumb. And the remnant we would escape that through the Holy Spirit. So we will not stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And this is what we find ourselves doing. We're leaning upon what the Most Highest told us through the mouth of the men that he set up to teach us, the true teachers, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, giving us the proper understanding of what these scriptures actually say. And then everything they've taught us falls in line with what's written. Not some off-the-wall bullshit that doesn't add up to what prophecy actually says. Everything that we've been taught falls in line with what prophecy says, man, with what the Most High has spoken. 21 says what? The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. You see? For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, because we're the largest nation of people on this earth, even though they tell us that we're the minority, we're the largest people on the largest nation of people on this earth, according to a promise that the Most High made unto Abraham. Your seed shall be as the stars of heaven for multitude. He was talking about the Israelites, man. He told our forefather Abraham that your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, as the sand of the sea for multitude. So we're the largest nation of people on this planet earth. Isaiah 10 and 22 says what? For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. See, only a small number is going to return first and foremost. That's why we always talk about the elect, the remnant, the 1/3. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness, for Yahweh of hosts shall make a consumption even determined in the midst of the land. Meaning what? The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. It's talking about the destruction of 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans here in the land of America, because you refuse to repent. Now going back to Jeremiah 32, back in the cross references, right? Yep. So Jeremiah 24 and 7 says what? And I will give them a heart to know me. See that Holy Spirit, that I'm Yahweh. And they shall be my people, and I will be their power. For they shall return unto me with their whole heart. There it is. And the only people who are doing that is who? The remnant of the nation of Israel. Jeremiah 30 and 22. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Talking to who? The Israelites. Jeremiah 31 and 1. At the same time, saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Never mentions anything about all nations. The God, the one true living God, the only God. You see, the one that created all of existence. He is the God of Israel. Well, why would a God create all these people on the earth if he's only going to be the God of Israel? He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. That's what you mere mortals on this earth have to understand. You don't dictate to the Most High. The Most High set this thing up how he wants it to be set up. He's chosen his people, the Israelites, to be the top nation of people on this earth. And all of the nations outside of that, you are servants unto the Israelites. That's how the Most High wanted it. That's how it's going to be when the Lord Yahushua returns. The God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is only the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's only the God to the Israelites. And he doesn't give a damn about you heathen nations. We'll do a video on that to show you that as well. Jeremiah 31 and 33 says what? But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. The house of Israel pertains to who? Our forefather Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel. His lineage that sprout forth from where? From his nutsack, man. His progeny. Her progeny. But this will be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I will put my law into their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. Because he's going to bring us into the fullness of that second covenant where we will never transgress again. There will never be once Yahushua saves the remnant, you see, and we're brought into that second covenant, every Israelite born after that point will be born into complete righteousness, never to sin again. This is what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is doing for his people and his people only, beginning with the remnant that's going to return, repent. You see? Salaki. So Ezekiel 11 and 19 says what? So Ezekiel 11 and 19 says what? And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of your flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh. He's going to take us away from this mortal flesh that causes you to have wicked thoughts, that causes you to walk in the spirit of disobedience. It's all about us being saved from this flesh, man. We have to be changed. And a lot of you Israelites who know you're Israelites, you don't even believe that we're going to be changed. You don't believe that we're going to be immortal. But that's all a part of the Most High's plan. Once again, like we're telling you, this book is not for low-level thinkers, man. This book is on an entirely different level than what you've actually been taught. The Most High is going to take us away from these. He's going to take our spirits out of these bodies and give us new, righteous, immortal bodies, so we can be brought into the fullness of the second covenant. And that's going to bring us into it's going to bring us into godhood, immortality. This is not something that's off the wall. This is just what the reality of it for the Most High's people. He's going to bring us into immortality by bringing us into that second covenant, by putting us in that new flesh. It says what? And will give them a heart of flesh, verse 20, that they shall walk in my statutes and keep mine ordinances to do them. You see that? This is what we've been brought into. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. Where we at now? Now we're speaking we're speaking the words of Ezekiel. You see how I went from Genesis to Deuteronomy to Psalms, Jeremiah. Now we're in Ezekiel, and it's saying the same thing over and over and over again. Ezekiel 36 and 28. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. You see it? The narrative of the Bible stays the same because why? It's because the Most High does not change. It also tells you that the Most High is not the author of confusion. The Most High spoke all these words going all the way back to what he told them to our forefather Abraham. Then he spoke all these things over and over and over again through the mouth of the prophets, just to get to the New Testament and say, no, that's disannul now. What does that leave what does that leave Abraham's descendants? In a state of confusion. Now, what are we supposed to do now? You see? The Most High is not the author of confusion. If he says something, that's what he's going to do. Because when did the Most High ever say anything about the heathen being brought into this and them becoming his people and he their God? He doesn't say that, man. That's a false narrative. That's a false understanding. Let's keep going. Ezekiel 37 and 27. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Who? The 12 tribes. So, Ezekiel 39 and 22. So the house of Israel shall know that I am Yahweh their God from that day and forward. He's just disannulled. He just canceled out these words and said, fuck it. He disannulled these words. They don't matter anymore. No. The Most High doesn't change. He said these things, and that's what's going to be upheld. Nothing other than this. Ezekiel 39 and 28. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. This is why we're in captivity. There's your answer. We were put on slave ships. We had yokes of iron upon our necks. Out there in them fucking fields from can't see to can't see. As a punishment from the Almighty. The Northern Kingdom, the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, had their land stolen by way of the sword by Christopher Cologne and his goons as a punishment from the Lord. We're still here in this land being treated like third-class citizens as a punishment from the Lord. The Most High did this to us because of our disobedience, as he said he would in the book of Deuteronomy 28, starting at verse 15 all the way on down to 68. The curses, right? So Ezekiel 39 and 28. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. And among these heathen, as we dwelt among them from generation on in, we went into worshiping their idols, we went into practicing their customs, and we raised our children up in these ways, generation after generation after generation after generation after generation after generation, until there was no more remembrance that we were Israelites. That's why this thing that we're partaking in is known as what? The Great Reawakening. Of who? The 12 tribes who had fallen away from the understanding that they were the 12 tribes. This is why a remnant has to return. This is why you read about Ezekiel 37, the valley of dry bones. They're being brought back into remembrance that they're Israelites. That's why it tells you in the book of Baruch chapter 2 that they shall remember themselves in the land of their captivities. Why are they going to have to remember themselves? Because their forefathers raised them up in the ways of the heathen generation on end till they forgot that they were Israelites. They had to be brought back into remembrance among the heathen. It says what? But I have gathered them unto their own land and have left none of them there, and have left none of them anymore there. You see that? Because the remnant of the 12 tribes are going to be gathered from all the lands we've been scattered to. Those are the Gentiles and the heathen that's going to be saved. Those Israelites who were conducting themselves as heathen, had the mindset of Gentiles. They're going to hear his word, be brought back into remembrance, and wait for the Lord Yahweh Shah to save them to be gathered from all the lands that we've been scattered to, as prophecy says. Two-thirds of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Most High is going to put you to death here in the land of America. He's going to save his remnant from the land of America. And then once we come down out of heaven, as it tells you in the book of Revelation 21, we're going to go through the earth and purge out the rest of you rebel Israelites who refuse to get with the program. We're going to put you to death. You see? That's the Most High's plan. All you rebel Israelites who's still going to be scattered, you are going to be put to death if you don't want to get with the program, man. Then you'll be reincarnated through one of the elect. You see, as a newborn babe in the kingdom of heaven. Zechariah 13 and 19 says what? And I will bring the third part through the fire. This is talking about the salvation of the 1/3 from the land of America. It says what? And will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, IUIC. You won't have to call on the name of the Lord to get up out of here. You're not going to be saved up out of here, then you're going to receive the name. No. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. Who does that pertain to? The Israelites. As the Most High has been telling you all throughout the mouth of the prophets. All throughout the prophets, he's been saying the same thing through his men. Hebrews 8, here we are in the New Testament. Hebrews 8 and 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Showing you that the narrative has stayed the same from the old all the way to the new. It hasn't changed because the Most High doesn't change. Hebrews 11 and 16. But now they desire a better country that is in heavenly, which is the kingdom of heaven, here on the earth, and the land that the Most High promised unto our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That land that's bordered between the Nile River and the Euphrates River. You see? And our sea being the Great Sea, which is the Mediterranean Sea. That's what we're going back to. That's what we're going to rule the earth from. That's going to be the hub of the universe. That land that was promised unto our forefathers, that we're going to inherit, you see, soon come. As promised by the Lord. It says what? Wherefore the Most High is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city. Which is which everything in the earth is leading toward that. All this war that we see, all this chaos that's about to break loose, it all needs to happen. So what? We can move forward on this timeline of prophecy. You see, so we can receive our kingdom, man, as the Most High's promises. Revelation 21:7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Who does that pertain to? The Israelites. And this fulfills the promise that the Most High made to our forefather Abraham all the way back in the book of Genesis, man. In fact, let's go to this real quick. You see? Look at this. Listen to this, man. That's the entire narrative of the scriptures, man. The Most High keeping this promise that he made with an oath unto our forefather Abraham. It all goes back to this. Genesis 17:7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee. And the Most High, as you progress through the history, the Most High tells you who it goes to. It went from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob, then to the 12 tribes. That's the seed that the Most High promises these things to. It says what? Let me see. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, which stretches between what? The Nile and the Euphrates, for an everlasting possession. And I will be their God. And did we not just read all the way through this book from Genesis to Revelation, the Most High saying the same thing over and over and over again? Why is that? Because the Most High doesn't change. His will hasn't changed. You see? You just have these pagan Christians and these false Israelite teachers come and give you something that doesn't add up to what the Most High said, man. You see? This is what the Most High is going to do. And it only pertains to the 12 tribes. We're going to continue to bring these things out, man. Because at the end of the day, it's only one truth. You see? It's only one gospel. And we have it. But yeah, that's it. I think it was another one I wanted to grab. I can't remember exactly what it is right now. Let me see real quick, and I'll wrap it up. Just wanted to do something before we got into camp, man. Get those spiritual juices flowing. That might be it. Oh, you know what? Look at this. Look at this. This is exactly what I wanted. This is Ezekiel 20. I'm sorry. This is Genesis 26:24. And Yahweh appeared unto him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, and will multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. He's talking to Isaac right here. Then you jump to 2 chapters over, Genesis 28:13. And behold, Yahweh stood above it and said, I am Yahweh, God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed, fulfilling what? That promise made unto our forefather Abraham, man. This is why you have to go back into the history. You see, if you don't understand the history, you can't understand what's going on in the rest of the scriptures, man. Exodus 3 and 6. Now, this is the Most High talking to who? Moses. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High. You see? That's what the entire Bible is about, man. You see? Oh, matter of fact, there's the one in Revelation I wanted to grab real quick. Revelation 21. Yep. Now, this is us coming out of heaven after we've been saved. We go through the crown ceremony that you read about in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 2. You see, we're coming down out of heaven, out of that gigantic chariot, up under that second covenant. And now, what does the Apostle John see right here? Revelation 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. You see, that's going into us. You see? And that's about to establish our rulership. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. That goes into the current heaven and earth that we're in right now, which is Esau's blessing, which is actually our hell. You see, this is about to pass away, to be forgotten forever. Verse 2 says what? And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Now, this wasn't an actual city. This is the Israelites coming down out of heaven, out of that chariot, in their full glory, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Because did not the Most High tell you that he's likened Israel unto a comely and delicate woman? And that, he also tells us that he's what? He's married unto us. So these are the Israelites coming down coming down in their full glory. We're coming down right here as gods. This is what the Apostle John is seeing on the Isle of Patmos. This is what's going to happen soon, very soon, here on this planet Earth. Verse 3 says what? And I heard the voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he shall dwell with them. And they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their God. Who did the Most High say he was going to do that to? Who does that pertain to? Did we not just get all the scriptures before that to tell us who it pertains to? It pertains to the 12 tribes of Israel, man, beginning with the remnant. You see how everything flows when you have the proper understanding of the scriptures? From Genesis to Revelation, it's all the same. Verse 4, and the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away, because we have been saved from the curses. And we're being brought into the blessings. We'll never go through sorrow or pain or experience death ever again at this point. We'll never be oppressed again. No heathen nation will ever rule over us again, man, and treat us less than. The Most High is taking us away from all of this, man. This is what he's promised to do for his people only. Verse 5 says what? And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. Or when you go into that word, it goes Nikainos, to mean refreshed. The Most High is about to refresh everything, man. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. Because what? The Most High does not lie. You see? So yeah, man, something I wanted to bring out before camp, get those spiritual juices flowing, you know? So with that, man, I'm going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the true teachers in Israel, you see, for teaching me and my brothers this doctrine according to the will and spirit of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and the sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful Le'akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai has created us to do. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, Wa, Ba, Ba, Ba.